Boys and girls, for shared reading today, we are going to read a new book called Silly Sarah, written by Maribeth Boltz, illustrated by Sherilyn Barnes. When we read, we are going to come across a few tricky words. I have covered those words up, and we are going to use what we know about letters and sounds to help us figure out those tricky words. Mama says to Silly Sarah, follow closely and here's a tricky word we have to figure out. All right, let's take a look. Follow closely and. I'm going to take a look at my first letter. It's the letter O. O, B. I know that sometimes E and Y can say A. Obey. I'm going to go back and reread now to see if that makes sense. Follow closely and obey. It does make sense because I know that obey means to do what you're told. Now that lesson time is over, Silly Sarah, you can play. Piggies roll in muddy puddles. Silly Sarah sings, me too. Silly Sarah swims and splashes, doing what her new friends do. Silly Sarah sees 6. Here's a tricky word. Let's take a look at all of the parts. Okay, the picture clues make me think that these are horses. But I see that the tricky word starts with a P. So if they're not horses, they could be ponies. Let's see if that looks right. Ponies, ponies. It matches. Silly Sarah sees 6 ponies. Silly Sarah joins the race. Around the barrels, over fences. Silly Sarah takes last place. Mole is digging holes in tunnels. Mole sits up and looks about. Is that Silly Sarah? Here's a tricky word. Let's look at it. Okay, is that Silly Sarah? Now I'm going to get my mouth ready for that S-Q-U at the beginning, squaw. Okay, now I see a vowel team. E, so I know that's going to say the long E sound. So far I know squa, E, Z, ing, squeezing. Is that Silly Sarah squeezing in a hole and through and out? It looks right and it makes sense. Then she runs into the meadow. Dog is, let's take a look at this tricky word. All right, I see the ER, so I know ER says So I'm going to look at the beginning of my word. Erd. Now the ending of my word, ing. Herd, ing, herding. Dog is herding sheep. What fun! There is barking, running, quacking. Silly Sarah, are you done? Now the sun is slowly setting. Mama Duck knows what's best. Mama kisses Silly Sarah and tucks her gently in to rest. Okay, boys and girls, so that is our story, Silly Sarah.